So curious to know what granularity other organizations plan and communicate their roadmaps.
Do you want to take that?
Yes, it depends. That is the answer. The granularity depends on the audience, which is what I actually work on with students on this particular topic of storytelling, because the story is very long, but when you communicate with specific folks, let's say with engineering, it's a very specific piece of the story that you're carving out to communicate because they only care about that piece, right? Or with exec team, they only care about this piece. So the planner, the product person, the program manager holds the whole story, but then how do you adapt? How do you carve out the right piece for the right audience? And then how do you adapt that message so that they understand and can be like, oh, okay, I get it. I understand this, right? Exactly like, oh, okay, I get it. This connects to the OKR. That's why this is important. That's why we have to ship this. Engineering is like, oh, okay, it helps me solve this tech debt problem that I had for ages. This is worth fixing. I'm gonna go fix it, right? So like, how do you make sure that message resonates across the organization? That's specifically what I work on. And yeah, that is the answer. Is it depends on who you're talking to, and being able to adapt that message is part of being a very influential product program person.
Right. And I definitely hear what you the part of it. So from a, if you talk to executive, they don't really care about the epics and stories. It's too granular, right? You want to give them something like an initiative or higher, and that's how you really bucketize the work to them. And when you talk to individual salesperson, they only care about this feature that maybe his customers or her customers care about, so that you have to go down to the feature level or epic level. So it makes a lot of sense to give different, in a way that's sad for product managers have to create all these decks, right? Those decks for the board, this deck is for sales team, this deck is for the others, because those are the stories you have to tell. So to that point, I also want to highlight that when we do quarterly planning, there's a somewhat of a connecting bigger initiatives, which tend to look at a multi-quarter, and then you look at the quarterly. Mostly you look at things kind of like epic or feature level, like a couple sprints in length, and then once you go to sprints, obviously you look at the stories and tasks, so that the sprint planning look at the tasks and stories in days, and then when you look at the quarter, you look at the features and so forth in one or couple sprints. And then you go to the executive level of discussion that will go to initiative that could be multi-month, multi-quarter, or even longer.